Good evening, Florida Skywatchers. I want to start with hurricane, or actually tropical storm Rafael. This storm was just named a tropical storm mere minutes ago, 36 minutes ago. It is in the Caribbean Sea, just south of Jamaica at this point. Here is the storm track. This will be a hurricane within just a few hours, and it will track across Cuba. Now, I want to start this off by saying that on Friday evening I made a video. I pretty much predicted the storm track using the Earth No School program. And what I did was I actually just took this out several days, watched where it was going, and also monitored the wind speeds, and estimated that it was basically going to make landfall in Cuba with about 75-mile-an-hour winds. And that is exactly what is being predicted. You can see that the wind speeds are about 85 miles an hour now. This is at elevation. We don't know what the surface level wind speeds are going to be just yet. But here you can see this system out in the Caribbean Sea, just south of Jamaica now, spinning away. I wanted to move to the True Color satellite imagery for the Gulf of Mexico. This is a regional sector. And there at the very bottom, you could see that this is becoming a tropical storm as we speak, and really starting to take on the shape of a tropical cyclone / hurricane. And so anyway, I'd been watching this now for several days, and we are only just seeing it happen now. There it is. And pretty much on November 2nd is when you actually started to see that rotation. And there you go. It's mass chaos in the Caribbean Sea right now. It's been mass chaos in the Caribbean Sea. I thought it would be really cool if I could be on a boat or even an airplane just kind of flying around and surveying the area. It would be awesome if we had some followers that were out there in the ocean taking time-lapse video of all this craziness, because I mean, this really is insane, and you never really see this level of volatility in the Gulf of Mexico like this. Basically, you know, this is the South American coast, and then you have the Dominican Republic and everything, and this is just, it really is just violent sea, incredibly violent. So what I wanted to do was just get all of this imagery documented. I had a lot of this queued up, and here we are. This is South America, this is Central America, and here is our system basically taking shape. And the unfortunate thing about this is that really we won't be able to get a really good zoomed in picture of this system right where it is. We've got to look at multiple sectors in order to really see a good image of this, and so we are looking at the sector view for the Caribbean here, and this is actually a really massive field of view, so zooming in is going to be difficult, but I may download this and try to upload that imagery as well. Now we're going to move back to the global sector, which is the best way to view. And now you can see this entire sequence somewhat. Let's see what happens if we change this to the mid-level water vapor so that we could actually see this entire system play out. And so the irony in this is that basically for like the past couple days you've had all of these mainstream meteorologists reading the script from the National Weather Service and NOAA, and they're basically pointing to the Caribbean and there was nothing there. And you know, so they're basically, you know, suggesting that this is where the storm's going to be. It's convection, blah, blah, blah. And here's the storm track. And basically this is what you were looking at. There was nothing there. This system is being predicted now for weeks. We're going on almost 2 weeks. And finally this storm has taken shape. Now, there have been so many news reports that I've been watching. I even watched one yesterday, and it was literally back-to-back meteorologists just basically reading the script. And, you know, anyway, there's so much chaos in the Caribbean Sea. And to think that you'd be able to predict this 10 days out is just absolutely crazy. And so we're already getting some issues with the satellite feed. So there it is. There's the whole system. You know, basically throughout Central America, in the Western Caribbean, and then there it goes, finally taking shape literally minutes ago. There you can see it. Otherwise it was just a bunch of, you know, cumulonimbus clouds just all kind of erupting in that area. So now we're really going to zoom in here and do the best that I can to see this. So here you see this kind of spinning out. We'll switch back to the true color. And here you go. This is basically the past 24 hours. And there it goes. Now, with that being said, I really was studying this pretty intensely earlier today. I didn't really see much surrounding this system. I do really like looking at the mid-level water vapor. Sometimes because you can see this on a 24-hour loop without any interruptions. And I don't really see anything yet. But I did post a video loop of what we saw with Hurricane Oscar right in this area here, right below Cuba. And it was right at that moment when the storm really started to rapidly intensify. So what I want to say here in regards to this new storm, Rafael, is that we may see this storm go through another period of rapid intensification. especially as it moves through the Gulf of Mexico, even though we are being told that it is highly unlikely that it is going to happen. As a matter of fact, I had done some research and found that there have only been 3 hurricanes that have hit the state of Florida, that have made landfall in the state of Florida since 1871. So keep that in mind. It was 1935, 2005, or 2015, and 2022. So there was only 3 hurricanes to hit Florida in November. So what I was saying is, I would not be surprised if this storm barrels through the Gulf of Mexico and we see something way bigger than is currently being predicted. Nothing at this point will surprise me, and we have already been through a lot. I also want to make a point of saying that there were some people that were commenting on the post that I made on Friday, kind of criticizing my post and saying how there's no way that this is going to be a major storm, and none of the mainstream meteorologists are saying that it's going to be a major storm. And I just want to say that here you go. This is going to be a major storm. It will make landfall somewhere in the United States. We have no idea where. And so I just wanted to make that point with this video. And now from here, I wanted to move to Florida because today I saw some really interesting stuff that is definitely worth highlighting and pointing out. And just look closely up in the Panhandle. Watch those energy waves flowing through the Panhandle, as well as all of the hole punch clouds, and there's a lot of them. So these are all hole punch clouds, and if you're not familiar what a hole punch cloud is, here you go. This is a hole punch cloud. Here's a bunch of them. I have this pulled up already. I had posted a viral video a while back of some hole punch clouds. It's at 1.5 million views now. It was in the just outside of the Florida Keys, but take a look at how that looks from satellite, and then we could actually get a really close-up view of all these hole punch clouds in Florida today, as well as all of these energy waves. Now keep in mind that once we zoom into this, those energy waves are not limited to the Panhandle of Florida. They actually extend all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico. Take a look at that. And then all throughout Georgia. And then you just have this really crazy sort of dynamic with the wind that is going against the jet stream. And so when you zoom out, you actually see it really well. So there's your jet stream, and then look at this reversal of the jet stream. Now I never even really looked at NextRad today, but anyway, I just wanted to kind of point this out. You just have this crazy sort of reversal of the jet stream and wind shear, and then in addition to that, you actually see all this visible coming through. And, you know, I don't want to speculate on that, but I could tell you that when you start seeing hole punch clouds and atmospheric humidity just evaporating quickly like that, there definitely is some foul play involved, and maybe it's solar radiation management, maybe it is the NEXRAD array throughout the United States, the 160 microwave towers. We could click that on and we can just take a look, just for the purpose of this video. And so, yeah, you don't really see a very intense radar bloom, but let's go up. Wow, looks like a crazy system actually moving through the United States right now too. Wow. I know people have been asking me to look at that, and I'm sorry that I have not gotten to it yet. There's just so much going on that it's become kind of difficult to even keep up with. Take a look at the radar beam kind of going around here in Melbourne, the one that's in Melbourne. See that? That's pretty cool. You know, so you got this whole revolving. I mean, you actually have two of these systems about to collide, so all hell's about to break loose in Illinois and Kansas, and my geography is terrible. Oklahoma looks like all kinds of crazy shit going on there right now. But take a look at how that moves across there. Let's actually go into this a little bit further. Let's see if this picks up. And it should. Big sweeping. There it is. Take a look at that. Radar anomaly. Pretty cool, huh? So, of course, you know, NEXRAD is definitely not used to modify and manipulate the weather or atmospheric winds or atmospheric relative humidity. Of course, the government would never do anything like that nefarious, and the government would never lie. And that's what we know from history. We know that the government has never told a lie and has an incredible track record of doing nothing but telling the truth.